Yeah, it was good. It was good. Yes, it's Oklahoma. It's been a minute. It's actually been like a week. But listen, I have another video coming out this week. But first, I just saw Spiderverse last night around 8:30. 8:30. It was like 2 hours movie. Let's talk about it, man. First and foremost, my God, this movie surpassed the first movie by like a long shot. Like, holy shit. Like the first across into Spider-Verse, okay. Spoilers, of course, spoilers ahead. Of course, if you haven't seen the movie, click off right now. Please. If you did, say, let's talk about it in the comments, you feel me? But first thing I want to talk about, this movie definitely did everything that better, way better than the first one. I would say the first one had a like just set the tone for Miles, and we got like to know his character and understand like where he came from, and like really flesh out Miles Morales. Because I know a lot of people had a problem with Miles Morales when he first got into, because I feel like he was just like kind of like pandering, like, oh, Black Spider Man. It's like, okay, what's next? Like, what's the character for him? And I think they have succeeded in the generation, like in decades past. Now we have like the game Miles and the cinematic movie Miles now to like compare and make more or less a whole cohesive character, which I think the first one did well, and the second one just kind of like brings that out again. But this time we focus on like, of course, the other Spider-Man, like Gwen. I swear to God, we get first 15 minutes or 30 minutes of the movie. They could have made the whole movie just about her, and I would have been fine. It was great. Like the color design from her fucking like Bloom Peak to like her full of like pure white and like golden. It was such a good transition, and her own like tragic backstory, understanding like where she came from, Peter's life, and kind of like the aversion to what we've seen in like the comic. The people they're familiar with the comic with Gwen Stacy's death have been. It was like, oh, and then they kind of play on that as well. But well, phenomenal storyline from start to finish. The only thing I will say, this is a two-parter, but it's not like a bad two-parter. It's like when Marvel does all those things, isn't like Marvel's been like, oh, another movie, another movie. We're not gonna get like definitive ending or anything like that. And this way, it gave us a definitive ending and like a nice character balance. Like we're going to see more of everybody, but it's not going to be like, oh damn, wait till next year, guys. It's like we'll wait till next year, but like we have a lot. There's like a lot of speculation, a lot of avenues they can go. It's not just it's not cut and dry like we thought, but it is. We know what the conclusion was going to be. We have an idea. It's not just, well, damn. I know this. Like I'm feeling lukewarm about it, bro. The animation from I'll talk about the animation just a little segue into that. Phenomenal, amazing. Like I don't know if like this is why I would say Puss in Boots was like one of the best anime movies I've seen this year, but this took it to another level. This is I hate to say a gas on, but it is a 10 out of 10. It's basically better than any animated movie I've ever seen, at least in the US. Maybe not better than something like Ufotable animation, but like this is top tier animation. Like from goodness gracious, like these niggas did everything. Everything was smooth, clean, crisp. Even the subtle character details. When other characters from other universes come into like the fold, right? And like there's a scene we saw all the Spider-Man, like the Spider-topia basically of all of them. Um, they're all different like animations. He was into like Hobie. He was like kind of like the punk rock. His name was like scattered like paper cutout, paper mache. It was like the collage thing. I was like, yo, that's fucking fire. And then you can see like when Gwen comes in, because it was subtler, but like not as grand. But when they would try to like include like really big story beats into the moment, like into the story, like or not the story, but like into animation. So like Gwen being like her animation style would be like kind of coalesce to be the same as fucking Miles, because they're like kind of like kind of like suggesting like a relationship or like just familiarity, like they're home with each other, so they can stabilize. So he's not always glitching or like doing anything like that. But that was, and then the other parts were like later in the movie towards the end, like the twist. Wow. They call this nigga the anomaly of anomalies because he's different. He got bit by a spider from a different universe, became Spider-Man for his universe. But the funny thing is, like, that's what happened in the Amazing Spider-Man run with Miles. He had to do that, but then it's crazy because like he did leave his universe in that one to come to the 616 in the comics. I'm pretty sure for like Civil War II and stuff like that. So I was like, wow, they just busted open. Also, Ben Riley is the Scarlet Violet. They had to do the inner monologue. I was like, this is crazy. This is amazing, honestly. Uh, damn. Jessica Drew, of course. There's so much like representation. Like I had like a lot of people. Some people saying like, oh, it's the diversity or some shit like that. Like basically making like, oh, it's too much. But I feel like this is one of the movies that's kind of like needs diversity. Like it has to be inclusive to everything, because basically the theme of the movie is like anybody can be Spider Man. No matter where you come from, who you are, you can choose to uphold the mantle. It's not Spider-Man's not like, it's not an identity. It's kind of a thing. It's like an abstract, it's like a concept in itself. So that's what they try to reinforce, and it's believable because like they had these canon moments. They had a lot of stuff from like Donald Glover, like cameos and other villains, and just like all the like there's stuff from they had Andrew Garfield. They had the Toby one, which is kind of the same Raimi one, but they had like a screenshot of it. But like the Andrew Garfield one was up there at Tom Holland. Like I was like, yo, they're really making Sony's making it more canon than fucking the MCU out here. They fucking with shit like heavily, but bro. I tell you that movie had like it's me at my jaw dropped. I'm to see it alone. I want to see it again twice so I get a better understanding of it, just so I can get like more influence, for a better opinion. But that shit was great. Like I really walk out of movies like, oh, this is pretty good. I enjoyed it. Kind of like that. And I think that's the unusual experience. But like this one, I'd say I haven't felt like experience like that in a while. Just really immersed into like, especially Spider-Man. Because I am definitely a hardcore Spider-Man fan. You feel me? I ain't joking. I'm not a hardcore Spider-Man, but I just lied. I do like Spider-Man a lot. I definitely played all the games, and I'm trying to get back into the comics because I know they've done some recent stuff like that I haven't really talked about. But we don't got to talk about that game. We gotta love and appreciate them, but like I said, animation, character direction for all the characters, even like the side characters. There's just so many good moments. Like I remember Hobie and Pravik. I think his name is Pravik. Pravik, the Indian Spider Man. He was dope, bro. He said, "You go chai chai d." I was like, it was funny. It was funny, and then like non bread, like his moments with Peter, but also the villain, the Spot was actually very good. Like he was a goofball. I was like, this is about to be like some comedy villain. Like this guy's not gonna be like fucking the main villain, right? I thought it was gonna be like the main villain was like still like gonna be Miguel and like stopping like the like kind of incursions or like destroying universes kind of thing, which is like kind of canon in the Marvel sense because that's what's happening anyways from Unraveling. But I don't know if it's due to they think it's due to canon, the disrupting the canon, which is probably like a fabrication because the canon, I feel like the canon is just there for like just self who Spider Man is. He would always do something good, and honestly, segue off that point to talk about something just a little more nuanced. The idea of Spider Man. I think why people dislike like the MCU Spider Man too much is because like they didn't really have like the crux of Spider Man is always like, well, he can save like 10 people from like a bus crash, right? But he misses Aunt May's birthday party dinner, or he misses his wedding, or he gets fired from his job. He can't like work or live. It's just like the dichotomy of not having it all, not having both. It makes him more of a relatable character to understand. Because like most of us can't do everything. Even if we had superpowers, we wouldn't be able to do everything. But Spider-Man encapsulates that view so often. So it's like, why can't he have everything? If he has all these powers, all these other Spider-Man helping him out, why can't he have it? It begs the question: is like, is that just something we deem to be a character moment, which is a very valuable thing, but also this is a comic though. Like we can make this whatever we can make this fantasy. We can fuck around with it. So like their delineation from like that line is kind of nice. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be perfect. And I know that it's a two like the 2 minute and movie ends and begins with Gwen. Actually, it was pretty. That was a pretty clever decision making choice for the director. I was like, I mean, I love her, Spider Gwen, and but it ends on that like cliffhanger part, like I said. But like it was a good twist with like the Prowler being Miles is like basically Miles. He would become the Prowler to prevent his uncle from doing anything, and like bad. I guess is the real crux. That's what I was thinking, but I the universe change what they did too is like this is not my universe. He said Earth 42 is like, oh shit, you aren't from here, bro. And honestly, I don't know how they're going to send him back. Like, I think the only way is to lock onto this dimension. They probably will find a way back, but him fighting himself is just crazy to think about. Like, what caused him? Like his death of his dad, and making him. There was no Spider Man at the time. There was nothing to help him. So Earth 42 Spider Man would have been Miles Morales. Still would have been Miles Morales, just not in the same variant. Which is a crazy thing. All this multiversal dimension hopping shit for my story point. And usually, those multiverse stories are kind of boring, but I like this one a lot, and I think you should definitely fucking watch it. If you haven't watched the fucking Spider movie, I don't care what nobody says. Like, hey, they just either hate like the little like inclusive stuff, or they just fucking are weird about Spider Man. Even if I swear to God, you don't even have to focus on like the shit that happens in the movie. To be honest, you just focus on the main plot and understand like what's going on. It's like that's paramount. Like they have a lot of reputation for a lot of things in there, and if you want to like be a part of it, that's dope. I ain't gonna lie, it's pretty lit to see this shit up there. But it's not like the reason why the movie it is what it is. It is what it is because like all those things and more. It's like it's kind of tell you the message of the movie. It's like it doesn't matter. Like it matters what you are, but like you could be anybody to do this. It's kind of like just feeling like self gratification and like kind of like actualization. Like hey, You could be you and be Spider. You could be Spider Man if you wanted, and in a different timeline, you could be a hero basically. So that's the message, but people kind of construe it and make it all weird. I'm like, it's not like that. But it was good. I enjoyed it. Please fucking watch. Also, thanks for watching. This movie was like fucking 10 minutes. I'm sorry, I was just gushing off the animation and everything. Color choicing. Wow. I love you, Spider Man. I like I got the little lighting in the background. Hey, W. Gwen. All right, though. Okay, I don't know why I did that. Why did I do that?
He's the one for me. There's no place I'd rather be. Yeah, yeah, yeah. To the finish line. Everywhere you look, he's right on time.